Hi guys, today's video is going to be my Summerween reading wrap up. A couple days ago you guys got the full-fledged Summerween cozy reading vlog. Unfortunately, my Summerween celebration has come to its end. Y'all know I don't celebrate Summerween for very long. I celebrated for maybe 2.5 weeks. And then I finish enjoying summer before actual Halloween starts. I have so many plans for the fall. I just made a mug of tea literally in a mug the size of a bowl. If you're interested, I'm currently reading Strange the Dreamer by Lanny Taylor. This is gonna be my next 5-star read of the year. I'm already knowing. It's going to be very humiliating and embarrassing if it's not, and I'm this confident about it. I'm on more chapters into this book, and I've bought a James Avery charm for my bracelet dedicated to this book because of how much I love it. So, also, this is my little end of summer TBR for what I'm planning on reading throughout the last 2 weeks of July and the first week of August. During Summerween, I ended up reading 11 books. I had a pretty good Summerween this year. Honestly, last year's reads were just so top tier, so amazing that this year really doesn't compare or clear last year. Like last year I was reading Vampires of El Norte, Ring Shout, Charlie and the Grandmother's Ghost Squads, like some heavy hitter 5-star reads for me. I don't think I have a singular 5-star read in this stack. I do have some highly rated books though in this stack. I'm going to tell you about these 2 books that I did get a pretty good chunk of the way into, but I decided to soft DNF and save for the fall. Wolfworm by T. Kingfisher and Year of the Mer. Wolfworm I was really enjoying, but I don't know why I couldn't really sink my teeth into it and really get into it before Summerween ended, and I've tried reading it multiple times throughout the time period of Summerween for me, but I'm like, this is a book that I should love. Like, I know my taste pretty well to know that this would be a book that I love if I gave it a chance when I'm in more of a mood for it. Same with Year of the Mer by L.D. Lewis. I just really think by the time that I picked this up, I wasn't in the fantasy mood anymore. And this has sirens and mermaids, and it's a Little Mermaid retelling. Like, Ursula's in the book. There's a lot of politicking. It's following this princess. It's a book that I should very much so enjoy, especially because it has pretty good political intrigue, just the bit that I did read. I probably would really like this if I give myself the chance to read it. I'm in more of a mood to read it. On to the books that I started and completed throughout Summerween. Starting off with what I read for Vampire Week. I have 4 books that I started and completed during Vampire Week. Starting off with Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is a romantasy book about a vampire who is arranged to be married to this werewolf. Her name is Misery, his name is Lo. Misery thinks that Lo is involved in the disappearance of her best friend, so the book is also following like that kind of mystery element of the book and trying to figure out if Lo is in fact involved, where her best friend Serena is, what happened to her, etc, etc. This book is pretty good. I think for me and my personal taste, or with just my expectations with this book, I was expecting it to be more romancy than how like fantasy based it was and like political it was. It was just it just wasn't at all what I was expecting, and I don't know if I mean that in a necessarily good way. Also, this is my first Ali Hazelwood book. I really haven't been too interested in reading her other works, but I can give them a try if you guys say that they're good. But yeah, I read this. It did give me the vampire mood that I wanted. I can say I did fly through this book. Like, I read the first 70% of this book in one sitting. I was deeply engrossed in this book, and the plot was very good. I just was really wanting more romance between Lo and Misery because I really thought I was signing up for a happy-go-lucky vampire romance book, which is honestly my bad. I would give this book a 3.5-star rating. Then I read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by Schwab. This book I honestly have such mixed feelings about because it's so close to a 5-star rating for me. It's a 4.5-star rating for me personally. Honestly, a huge surprise because I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by the same author, and I liked that book, but I didn't love it. I think I gave that book 3 stars. Like I said, I would give this one a 4.5. This book was actually genuinely phenomenal and spectacular to me. I just have gripes with it that are kind of big gripes that I can't look past and give this book 5 stars anyway. This book is following 3 different women in 3 different time periods in 3 different places in history that all merge somehow into each other's lives. There's a lot of toxic lesbianism going on in this, and sapphic vampires, rose gardens, castles, etc., etc. All of those vibes are in this book. So many good quotes. This book was genuinely beautifully written. It was just, it was kind of so twisty. It was just, y'all, it was a really good book. But like I said, I have such big gripes with this book. Like, I can't look past those gripes and give it a 5-star anyway, because like they genuinely do irk my soul. One of my gripes was that I felt like it was low-key a tad bit too long. I felt like the middle part of the book just dragged on and on and on to me, and I was like, I don't feel like this is necessary to the plot. Like, I do understand why it was written there and why the book is that long, and that the middle part of the book was in fact like kind of, it wasn't important to the story, but it just developed some of the themes within the story a little bit more surrounding morality, mortality, and humanity, how those things are kind of tethered to each other, and empathy, the human heart, physically and emotionally, and how those things and emotions just kind of rot away when you're an immortal creature that has to eat humans to survive, basically. I do understand why the middle section was there because of those themes. It was really making me lose interest in the story, and it was like kind of a bore to get through, or kind of just really hard to get through, because it was also pretty graphic and just, it was just a little too much. Like, I feel like 50 or 100 pages less of the middle section of the book, this book would have been a 5-star for me, even with my other complaints. My other complaint, which is really only one other complaint, and that is that I felt like the ending was just a tad bit rushed or like unsatisfying because of the way that it ended. I was just like, y'all know I don't like open interpreted endings. Like, I just really don't. And this book kind of had that kind of vibe. But all in all, totally worth the read. You guys should definitely give this book a chance. Especially with fall coming up. This is a book that you should read during fall if you like dark, spooky, foggy, cobblestone road vibes. If you like sapphic vampires, vampires in general, vampiric themes, this is an amazing book to read. 4.5-star ratings. Because honestly, even with those complaints, I still think about this book so often. It was so good. After that, I was like, I need another funny, just cute, fun vampire rom-com to read. So I read My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine, another 3-star. And it's following this girl named Cassie who's moving in with Frederick, who is a vampire, obviously. But she doesn't know this when she initially moves in with him. She just starts finding little hints and little signs of him not being human. And there is a whole plot there. It's just a funny, enjoyable rom-com read. Just like really a palate cleanser book. It's really good. I enjoyed my time reading it, but 3-star rating because it wasn't anything that wowed me or anything that I was like incredibly attached to. I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite. So 3-star rating. I still really enjoyed it, and I would recommend you pick this up, especially if you're looking for something fast, quick, funny, fun, but still having the like fall vibes or Summerween vibes. Then I read a weird little book, which was Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna Van Veen. Another 3-star read for me. This book was good. This was one of those books that I felt like was kind of a drag though. It's following this girl who It's following this girl, Lucy, whose twin sister is going insane. She refuses to eat. She's mumbling to herself, and she is like obsessed with this centuries-old corpse. And Lucy is moving in with her sister for a couple of weeks to take care of her, basically. Lucy is trying to figure out what's wrong with her sister and kind of cure her sister so that they don't take her to the asylum. This was a good book. I honestly am giving it a 3-star rating to be generous, because I didn't hate it, and I feel like anything 2-star is like, I would not recommend it. I would recommend this book because I could definitely see how other people really like it. I just, like I said, felt like it was kind of a drag. I got really bored with it. I also just felt like it was kind of a lot going on at the same time, even though I was bored. I was bored and simultaneously it was a lot going on. It was just like some, I don't know, some stuff that was happening in the book, I was like, oh, okay. It was okay though. It just wasn't for me. So I ended up reading Left Up Forever by Tara DeWitt on my Kindle. I gave that book a 4-star rating, or a 4.5. I'm still kind of deciding, but I really, really enjoyed that book. That book is a romance book, and it is a second chance romance between Ren and Ellis. They were married and they've been divorced for 5 years now. Their son, who they had when they were teenagers, is now graduating high school and moving into college, so they decide to go on a road trip together to see if they can rekindle what they once had with each other. This book was so good. Y'all know I'm such a sucker for like marriage in trouble, second chance romances, especially second chance romance with a married couple or ex-married couple. It's so tea to me. It's so tea to me. I really like it. This book was just so good. Like, it was so cozy. This was literally the perfect Summerween read because there was like the camping vibes, the summery traveling vibes with the road trip, but it still gave cozy autumn vibes at the same time somehow. It was really good. The characters were so lovable. Like, there was so much found family within these two characters and their siblings and parents and whatnot. The tension was so good between the two characters. I really, really enjoyed this book, y'all. I really did. And I had a really good time reading it. I read it pretty quickly. Like, I was really attached to this couple. Every time that I was away from this book, I was thinking about coming back to read the book. Y'all know a book is good whenever you're not reading it, you're thinking about reading it. I read that one on my Kindle. That was the only ebook that I read after Vampire Week, I think. Really enjoyed that one. 4 or 4.5 star. Highly recommend that one also. Then another book that I also very much so recommend, Almost There by Farah Rashan. This is a Disney Twisted Tale book, and it is the Twisted Tale for Princess Tiana. The whole series of Twisted Tales books are basically alternative stories to what the fairy tale or movie is. So this book, being about Princess Tiana, was what if Tiana made a deal with Dr. Facilier. Very, very interesting plot. Very, very interesting deal that was made, and you have all of the characters that you love from the movie. Y'all know how I feel about Princess and the Frog. I love Princess and the Frog. That's top 3 Disney for me. All of the characters that you love in the movie going on adventures with each other. I don't want to spoil too much with this book, but with the deal that Tiana made with Dr. Facilier, Naveen lost all memory of their adventure together when they were frogs. But just because he lost his memory does not mean that he lost interest in her. And so basically it's kind of a second chance romance, but he doesn't know it's a second chance. There is like that tension between Tiana and Naveen in the book. There is the whole mystery kind of subplot, or mystery-esque subplot of Tiana trying to figure out how in the world to get on this deal with Dr. Facilier. There's an adventure to Mama Odie involved. Lois is heavily involved in the story. You see him very, very often in the story. You see Lottie very often. Like, this book was written so well to the point of I could literally hear all of the characters' voices in my head when they were talking. The way Farah Rashan wrote this book just matched the characters' voices so well. I really, really enjoyed this book. I would give this book a 3.5 star rating. Another book that I feel like was just a tad bit too long, but I enjoyed it nevertheless. And I would recommend it, especially if you're a younger audience and you really, really love Princess and the Frog like I do. Then I read Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. Now, this is a book I'm not ashamed to admit that I did not like. All of the other ones that I rated like a 3-star rating, I was like, oh, it's okay, I liked it. This one was probably a 2-star for me. This book is very popular on Horror Book Talk right now, which is part of the reason why I picked it up. It's a botanical YA horror about this character who it's about Andrew and his best friend Thomas. Thomas's parents mysteriously vanish, and it's seeming like Thomas killed them. He's kind of trying to figure out what happened to them. He is also like, there's these very spooky creatures popping up around the school, in the forest and whatnot, that have a lot to do with his best friend, who he also kind of has a relationship with on the low. Like, they both have a crush on each other on the low. This book was interesting. You know, it was, on my Goodreads I said, at times this book felt so confusing and disjointed to the point of being nonsensical almost. However, beautiful imagery, amazing setting, good plot, and story premise. I feel like I really liked what this book was trying to do, but I don't necessarily feel like the book fully did what it was intended to do. And that's exactly how I felt. Like, I felt like it was kind of discombobulated a little bit. It almost felt like reading We Were Liars. That book, I hated that book. And I kind of had the same feeling while reading both of these books, where it just felt disjointed and confusing almost, and like the author is really, really trying to do something, and you know what the author is trying to do and the themes that the author is trying to communicate, but it still just feels nonsensical and all over the place, and the themes aren't really landing. I don't like to harp on books that I don't like, because there's so many books in the world to read, girl. Speaking of books to read that are just phenomenal, The Place Where They Buried Your Heart by Christina Henry. This is when I started to attempt to do a 12-hour readathon. I sucked terribly at it though. This was such a pleasant surprise and a 4-star read for me. A 4.5-star read for me. Jessie lives in this neighborhood with this very spooky, haunted, creepy house. This kind of giving Monster House vibe, is eating children. Her brother was just being annoying and whatever, and she dared her brother to go into this house, and he does not come out. And his 2 friends that went with him come out, but one of their arms is missing, and they're terrified by what happened in the house. Children keep going missing. Jessie is trying to figure out what is going on in this house. The house won't burn. The house won't be knocked down. It's literally Monster House as a book, guys. It's so good, and it was so thrilling. It was so fast-paced. It had me on the edge of my seat, reading at the speed of light. I was so spooked by it. I'm low-key still spooked by it. I had such a fun time reading this book, and I really don't like the feeling of being scared, but I really enjoyed being spooked by reading this book. Like, I really had a fun time reading it. I can't explain it. If you don't take any recommendation from this video, please, please, please go read The Place Where They Buried Your Heart and Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. This book was probably my favorite book of Summerween this year. I had an amazing time reading it. It was just so immersive and so good. Like, it was so good. This is top tier horror for me. I really, really enjoyed this book. Last but not least, I have That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming, book 1 of the Mead and Mishap series. Another 3-star read for me. Another book that I thought kind of dragged a little bit. The premise of the story is very, very much so self-explanatory. This girl gets drunk and saves a demon, and she ends up going on this big journey with him. This was very, very whimsical. All types of creatures were within this book, and this was very, very summery also, which I really enjoyed. This is another book that put the summer in Summerween. I really enjoyed this book, but I didn't absolutely love it. I had a fun time reading it. The books that I read that were like romancy, I had a fun time reading, but I didn't absolutely love. Other than Left of Forever, I did absolutely love that book. But the other ones were just kind of fun time, funny, cute vibes. And also, this book, the main pet name for the main character was Rabbit. I didn't like that. those are all of the books that I read this Summerween now. It has been an amazing 2.5 weeks of just pretending that it's fall and immersing myself into the cozy, quaint, quiet fall vibes. I've been at so much peace. Fall couldn't get here quicker. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Summerween this year. Let me know what you guys read, or if you're still celebrating Summerween, you're going to be celebrating it for some time, what you plan on reading. Let me know if you read anything that I've read, your thoughts on anything that I talked about today, and your thoughts on anything else you want to talk about. Hey, I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys in my next video very, very soon. Bye-bye.